Fighter. America needs Ron DeSantis. Visit readyforron.com. Ready for Ron paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I've struggled with dark, thick, rough nails for years.
Nonix Nail Gel cleans out keratin debris where nail fungus thrives. 90% of nails improve.
Nonix really works.
Find Nonix at Walmart, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and CVS.
I think I'm going to take a little nap, sit outside, and get ready for the week. I'll be on American Agenda tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Amazing. Have a great day, everyone. New to the Street is coming up next at 10.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Linqto helps identify, evaluate, and invest in the world's leading unicorn companies. And the main goal here is to democratize the financial markets. And with me is the Chief Operating Officer, Joe Indoso, and the Chief Growth Officer, Susan Miller. Welcome. And let's just start with, give me an overview of the company, because what you're doing is really unique.
We're founded on a very basic premise that the single most valuable investment class is the equity of tech companies while they're still private, before they IPO.
Pre-IPO.
Absolutely. And what we're trying to do is solve this problem of access, because historically, the only people that have been able to invest in that asset class are largely, frankly, not people. They're institutions.
That's right, yeah.
They're private equity firms, VC firms, hedge funds, large sovereign wealth funds from around the world, and individuals who are oligarchs, billionaire types. Right. But people like those of us, sitting around here, find it very difficult, if not impossible, to make investments systematically in that asset class. So that's what we're doing at Linqto. We're making it very simple, easy, affordable for regular people who are accredited investors, individuals, not institutions, to allocate a portion of their portfolios and consistently make quality investments in private tech companies.
Because really, the system as it is now is the rich get richer, more powerful, so this is a way to, just give people an opportunity to take advantage of that. And by the way, unicorn you define as a company worth $1 billion.
Correct.
A private company that's valued at over $1 billion.
Okay, so I know there's a few kind of slightly different definitions. So talk to me about just how this is an alternative for people, and how do they become an accredited investor? What do you have to do to be that?
Sure. So not our rules, but the SEC has rules about who can be an accredited investor. So typically, litmus tests would include something like, as an individual, having over $200,000 in annual income, as a household $300,000, or $1 million in liquid net worth, not including your primary residence.
Okay.
So not our rules. However, we have figured out a pretty quick way to automate the process of accreditation. So you can go on Linqto.com and we can facilitate that accreditation process for you.
Okay.
Right now, only 2% of eligible investors are actually investing in private markets, 2%. And so, as Joe shared, our mission is really to democratize the private markets and create not only the possibility for folks to understand what are the accreditation rules, how do they get accredited, but give access to some of the leading unicorn investments, so some of the exciting things on the Linqto platform.
So okay, I have a lot of questions. So let's go back to the accreditation, because the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, wants to even make those rules more strict, right?
So, it's interesting. Gensler has come out saying that he thinks the rules should be more strict. There's actually a bill right now that has been proposed that would allow folks, as a part of the Jobs 4.0 Act, that would allow folks to invest 10% of their income, no matter what their income is. So clearly, we're hearing something different from the American people than the SEC chair.
Yeah. Okay. And, I guess
I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if the fundamental premise of securities regulations in this area is to protect investors from scams and, you know, people that are acting in bad faith are basically going to steal their money. I get it. Yeah. We're all for that, right? But you don't necessarily achieve that simply by having these, you know, carved in stone financial tests. You actually ought to test for one's level of financial sophistication, one's capacity to take on risk, right? There are ways to get to that underlying question of, is somebody, you know, capable of making investments in these assets without necessarily having these strict tests. And so to make those tests even more strict is going to do the opposite. It's going to make it, like you started out saying, right? Fewer people are actually going to be able to invest in the asset class. We're saying no. It ought to be the opposite. Right. I mean, in America today, there's no securities regulation that prevents somebody from putting $10,000 on black in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Or the lotto.
And I'm saying you can put $10,000 in a quality tech company that's worth billions and will, you know, IPO at some point for tens of billions. Why is it somehow not okay for a person to put $10,000 through Linqto in that company, and then they can go to Vegas and put $10,000 on black
with their winnings?
It's a great argument. I mean, it's the classic catch-22, right? I mean, how do you accumulate wealth if you're never allowed to start to invest it? You just get lucky, I guess.
Well, and if you think about where people are creating generational wealth, it is in the private market.
Private equity.
So typically, you know, in the past, let's say 20 years ago, a typical company would go public after 4 years. Now companies are staying private much longer. So when you think about where their hockey stick and growth is happening, it's typically before they go public. And so if you want access to where that exponential growth is happening, you know, the private markets is the only way to access that.
Super interesting, and I really support anything that gets more people involved in the market and allows more people to build wealth, because it's a concern. So thank you, Joe and Susan. It's wonderful to hear about the company.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Right. Thanks.
Want to get linked to a really good investment? Everyone knows you have to be at the right place at the right time. So here's the deal. Linqto is that place. And when you sign up, you'll join an awesome community of investors with access to the world's leading private companies way before they go mainstream. Are you ready to get linked to? Our unicorns are waiting. Linqto. Private investing made simple.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
We can do better. Existing security systems are often obsolete and ineffective. Today's challenges require a new approach, a personal approach. RAD Light My Way places personal safety in the hands of everyone.
This area is under live monitoring, activated by RAD Light My Way.
The only way we make a safer world is when we all have a hand in it.
Activated by RAD Light My Way.
Just one of the innovations from AITX. Visit AITX.ai.
Smiles 23 is a company focused on making sure executives have the best physical presentation that they can. And with me is Dr. Lee Goss, the CEO of Smiles 23, and also CEO Smiles, which is a project of Smiles 23. So explain what that's all about.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a dentist by trade, but Smile 23 is an exciting project where we're attempting to roll up very high-end dental practices. And in those practices, we're defined by the highest quality of care, leading technology, and customer experience. And we are excited about telling our story through CEO Smiles. And in CEO Smiles, we want to take a deep dive into the smile of a CEO and pick apart what characteristics of that smile actually make it different.
So why is that important?
Why is a smile important?
I mean, we know it's good, but for a CEO, how does that make a difference?
Okay, so why is a smile particularly important for a CEO? CEOs have to be able to demonstrate confidence. And I think out of all facial features, eyes, skin, hair, there's nothing that projects confidence like a smile. Even, you kind of want your CEO, in my opinion, to have a little gray hair, maybe a wrinkle or two, but you definitely want them to be able to project confidence during the pitch and to disarm during negotiations. And I think a smile is the quickest way to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it does show confidence, warmth. People I think can relate to you. They're not intimidated by you if you're, smiling a little bit. So it might be a good thing for negotiations.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think people and for years have been focused on the Hollywood smile and how can they look like their star. But I think now more than ever, people really want to emulate this CEO that they're a fan of. And I've been privileged over the years to help construct and design some of the smiles for CEOs, CMOs, COOs, founders. And I've been privileged to see kind of how their smile has been part of their journey.
So I'm thinking straight teeth, white teeth. Anything else? Like, is there anything I'm missing?
Missing is the key word.
Okay, so
all of them there.
Yeah.
So 80% of adults are missing at least one tooth.
Interesting.
And now there are so many technologies that are coming to the forefront, especially robotic dentistry, which is allowing people to replace missing teeth. So absolutely right. I think people have gotten it right with straight and white through clear aligners and through teeth whitening, but there's so much tech coming in robotics that's really interesting.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that. So what can robotics do? How are they changing dentistry?
Well, we have to think about who places a screw better, a robot or a person. I'm personally really excited about where robotics are going to influence dentistry. Robotics are already heavily in medicine and in surgery, and robots can, with the assistance of a doctor, place dental implants. I think a lot of other procedures are going to be coming down the line, and this is amazing because it's going to greatly influence access to care and quality of care.
Yeah, and maybe bring the price down a little bit as well, since there's 100% to it. So
price comes down, quality goes up, and it's just amazing.
So what should someone do if they're considering, what should be the first step that they take if they're an executive and considering improving their smile?
Well, virtual consultations became a real thing over the past 2 years. So now a virtual consultation is part of almost every dentist's workflow. So that's a great place to start. You can talk about your smile, and we all know from Zoom calls that you can actually see someone's teeth pretty well on a Zoom call. There's actually a dental term that came about called Zoom call anxiety, which is actually related to the way a person's appearance, because the Zooms really show facial features really well.
Oh yeah, that lighting, like that can be a killer sometimes on the Zoom calls. And finally, like what's a price range, something like this?
Well, dental implants at present are roughly $5,000 a tooth. A full arch rehab can range from $20,000 to say $100,000 or even $120,000. But I think with the technology that's really, really close, I think the prices of dentistry are really going to come down, and the quality in the mid-market is really going to come up.
It'd be very interesting. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
We can do better. Existing security systems are often obsolete and ineffective. Today's challenges require a new approach, a personal approach. RAD Light My Way places personal safety in the hands of everyone.
This area is under live monitoring, activated by RAD Light My Way.
The only way we make a safer world is when we all have a hand in it.
Activated by RAD Light My Way.
Just one of the innovations from AITX. Visit AITX.ai.
Leflair is a Vietnamese-based company, e-commerce company, and with me is the CEO, Louis Gauthier, to talk about the company and the recent acquisition from Society Pass, and explain how the company was formed, Louis. I mean, just give me a little history of Leflair.
Hi, first of all, thank you for having me. So Leflair is a company that I started in 2015. So it's been about 10 years that I live in Southeast Asia and in particular in Vietnam. And I've been doing e-commerce most of my life, first with Groupon back in Europe and in France in particular, where I'm from. I then joined in 2013 a company named Lazada that used to be owned by Rocket Internet, and then was sold to Alibaba in 2016. And in 2015, I basically realized that there was still a gap in the e-commerce market, and that in particular international brands, world famous brands, were not that were not merchandise that were very suitable for those marketplaces that offered very little control of the supply and protection for the customers. So we decided to start our own e-commerce website that we called Leflair, and that for the following 5 years did very well. We had more than 200 employees, multi-million-dollar sales, growing very nicely until in 2020 we obviously started to experience certain difficulties due to the COVID pandemic, which led to afterwards the acquisition of the company by Society Pass in May 2020.
Okay, so describe it in 2020. What happened? Because I mean, it seems like digital businesses did okay during that time. So what happened there that was challenging for you?
Well, first of all, as a company, we had very nice growth. We were basically more than doubling revenue every year, and we were raising capital every year. But at the end of 2019, a lot of startups like ours that were high growth, high burn, had difficulties raising further capital because of the environment and what was happening with WeWork at the time. So it made it difficult for us to close we were working on a $40 million round of funding at that time. And then at the beginning of the year, as I said, COVID started to hit and lockdown started to happen. And we were selling fashion goods, international brands. These are not essential goods, right? So all the businesses that were not selling essential goods online actually had to stop their operation for a certain time. So for us, we were unable to basically continue the business for quite an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm. And so you were acquired by Society Pass, which is, operates mainly in Southeast Asia.
Absolutely.
So describe that. Like, what has happened with Leflair since then? And just take me through that journey.
So after the acquisition of Society Pass, Leflair became the e-commerce vertical of the Society Pass ecosystem. That is basically building an ecosystem of companies that are digitally enabled in Southeast Asia. And so what has happened is that obviously we joined forces with their team. We are now able to leverage the fact that they are a public company listed on NASDAQ and are, well capitalized, which obviously helps us as an e-commerce company, which is a capital intensive business, to obviously expand our operation and grow our sales. But it's also allowed us to rethink our business model and how we are, seeing the near future and midterm future for our company. So before the acquisition of Society Pass, we were, and we are pretty much still today, a single platform that only acts at the end of the life cycle of the product and at the end of the e-commerce value chain. What it means is that we don't own any inventory, which is, obviously very, very little risk associated with that. But in counterpart, we also take a relatively small margin on every sale that we make. And as an e-commerce company, obviously, you should not work towards increasing your prices and the margin that you make off the customers, because it impacts negatively your sales. So obviously, e-commerce being also a very expensive business, especially when it comes to acquiring customers and customer acquisition costs, it usually requires a tremendous amount of capital. And although Society Pass is now a public company, we do not want to follow the path of the large e-commerce websites that are raising and burning billions of dollars. So we are making our business model shift to be more suitable to the Southeast Asia economy and the way we believe e-commerce companies and retail companies should grow in the near future. And how we do that is basically that by integrating the e-commerce and retail value chain.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. So thank you so much, Loic, for joining.
Thank you very much.
Explaining Leflair and your relationship with Society Pass. It's very interesting.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Linqto has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Linqto's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Linqto from your favorite app store.
Clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
We can do better. Existing security systems are often obsolete and ineffective. Today's challenges require a new approach, a personal approach. Rad Light My Way places personal safety in the hands of everyone.
This area is under live monitoring, activated by Rad Light My Way.
The only way we make a safer world is when we all have a hand in it.
Activated by Rad Light My Way.
Just one of the innovations from AITX. Visit AITX.ai.
PetVivo is advancing animal health through innovation. Specifically, it's medical devices and therapeutics for companion animals. And with me is Mark Middleton, who is the National Sales Director at PetVivo. Welcome, Mark.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, ma'am, for inviting me.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great to talk to you. And tell me about your experience in animal health.
Well, I'm definitely older than you. There's no doubt. It goes a long way. I've been in distribution in the beginning of my career for the first 3 decades and got to run a very large company in distribution and learned a lot about that side of the business. Then spent the last 10 years inside of FDA manufacturing, as well as consulting with private equity groups in the merger and acquisition market, opportunities for them inside the animal health space.
Mm-hmm. So what about all of that made you feel well prepared to take on this role at PetVivo?
Well, the first part of my career was dealt with nothing but veterinarians. So I've got to see their side of the business, their side of the medicine side of business, because in the end, they're true medical entrepreneurs. And so how could I help them with the products? But you have to understand the needs and wants and where they're trying to get from a medical outcome standpoint for their patients. And so the veterinary physician has been very, very helpful in my background and training in private practice. And so fully understanding their medical needs, their customer needs, and their patient outcomes, that first 3 decades of my career, that's where I spent it.
Yeah, well, and that's valuable for a company like PetVivo. And let's talk about Spring, which is kind of their star product. I mean, where are you currently marketing it? What are your plans for Spring?
The plan for Spring with OsteoCushion technology, it's an interarticular placed product. So it's put in joint space, capsules, whether it be equine, whether it be small animal. But the fact of where we're currently marketing it inside of the companion animal market and the equine market, it is absolutely the right time because most everything available out here in the market that's most all the products are non-biologic. We're all naturally derived OsteoCushion technology, Spring, or man-made synthetics. So the uniqueness of this naturally derived product in this current space with the length of duration of activity was very, very appealing. And so it's good for the equine market and very good for the small animal market, from an osteoarthritis situation to lameness issues and indications that can happen.
And what about the core sales team? Who are you overseeing, and what's the strategy with the sales team? Is it geographic, or how is that all designed?
Yeah, well, since we're a new startup, we got all hands on deck, and there's a lot going on. I mean, I'm telling you. But the core management team was one of the appealing things to me when you looked at their background in the medical industry from the human side and their connections there. Yeah, from the from the CEO down through the CFO, through the COO to the scientist, very, very, very smart people. And we've got a good core group of people now that we're building around in business development. So, yeah, when you look at that core group, we have a team of people that understand the financial side, understand the science side, and understand this growth side. Because a lot of times when you're growing a startup, and I've had that a couple of times in my career, patience, persistence, and follow through are the key. And a lot of people in the Wall Street world, and may not have a lot of patience because they want to see activity right now.
That's true.
Well, a lot of times that's not the best move.
Yeah.
But yeah, this company is got the right pieces in place now. We've got a few more to add, but for an all naturally derived product, it will help a lot of situations in medical outcomes.
Thank you so much for joining me today to talk more about your role at PetVivo.
Well, I'm very humbled, and thank you very much for your questions. And I'm humbled to be here and excited for the veterinary community to get their hands on this tool, because it's going to help them. It's exciting, and it's naturally derived. Thank you, Jane. Have a good morning.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
We can do better. Existing security systems are often obsolete and ineffective. Today's challenges require a new approach, a personal approach. RAD Light My Way places personal safety in the hands of everyone.
This area is under live monitoring, activated by RAD Light My Way.
The only way we make a safer world is when we all have a hand in it.
Activated by RAD Light My Way.
Just one of the innovations from AITX. Visit AITX.ai.
Want to get linked to a really good investment? Everyone knows you have to be at the right place at the right time. So here's the deal. Linqto is that place. And when you sign up, you'll join an awesome community of investors with access to the world's leading private companies way before they go mainstream. Are you ready to get linked to? Our unicorns are waiting. Linqto. Private investing made simple.
SEKUR is an instant messaging and email service that is encrypted and is good for confidential communications. And we do know and read about hacks almost on a daily basis. So with me is the CEO of SEKUR, Langahi, to talk about the company and then also some of the products you have for people. So let's just start with, you've got a new product, right?
Yes.
Check by invite?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
Tell me about that.
So anyway, hi everyone, thanks for watching. Basically, we launched our new messenger tool with a chat by invite. What it means is that whether you're in the US, Canada, most of Latin America now, and some countries in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, you can text anyone with a phone number from these countries and invite them to chat with you. Now, why that's important? As you know, if you use a chat application, the recipient needs to have the same application. They also ask for your phone number every time when you download those. First of all, we don't ask for your phone number, so it's way more private and secure. The hackers don't know that you even have an account, that you're using it. And now you can chat with anybody in the world that has a mobile phone, because you can just text them and say, hey, Alain wants to chat with you. And then you click on the link, it's like, okay, and then we open a channel and we chat together in a private and secure manner, as if you had Secure. And the thing is that when I initiate the conversation, when I terminate it, even if you click again on the link, it's going to be gone. It's going to probably prompt you to buy the service. Okay. But what's really good is that you don't have to download anything. You don't have to register to anything. So it's great for businesses. You know, you have the financial industry, legal, medical, insurance, mortgage, I mean, you name it. People communicate a lot with their clients, and that's going to facilitate, and we're doing it worldwide. As you can see, we got Colombia, Mexico, a bunch of Latin American, Central American countries, US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland, obviously, and a couple of countries in Europe. And we're going to keep expanding, because you need to be able to have the SMS gateway to text the people from that country. So we keep adding countries.
So walk me through it. So I need the app, the Secure app, which I can download on iOS and Google?
Yeah.
Okay. And then through that, I can text somebody?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
first I would recommend you go to secure.com.
Okay.
You buy the solution. After that, you can download, because you need to create your account.
I see.
And that needs to be done with us. Then you download on iOS or Android, you sign in, and then you basically can use chat by invite. You can use it using your address book, your contact book. It'll upload it for you. Or if somebody is not in your address book, you put their name, their phone number, it'll send them an invite to click, and then the channel is open. It's a private tunneling system, and the entire communication only happens in our Swiss encrypted server environment, as opposed to sending encryption keys back and forth over the internet. And that's critical to know, because when you send keys back and forth, they can be hacked. Whereas when it's in a server and it never leaves that server, you can be in Tokyo, I can be in Australia. We're both communicating in Switzerland. That's the cool part about it.
Interesting. Okay. And there's also an email service.
Yes, so Secure is a bundle of the email service and the Secure Messenger. Now we launched Secure as a bundle. We have Secure Mail, which is just the email, and Secure Messenger. We also launched business services, where you can have your domain name with us, or you can migrate your existing business. Most people probably, they already have a business and emails, and they don't want to have data mining and big tech. They want to move to us for privacy and security. Nobody will even know they moved, because they can keep their domain. So that's pretty cool. So that's already out, and we have other products that are coming out as well. Our email application, which will let you have the Secure Send privacy feature from your phone without going through webmail, that's going to be ready mid-June, so in about a month from now. And then we have the Secure Voice, which is going to be in September, October, encrypted calls to anyone in the world without having to dial their phone number, which is, again, the same concept of you invite somebody with a link, they open, they can chat with you. And then Secure Pro, which is our answer to video conferencing.
Yeah, okay, I was going to ask about that, because we're doing so much of that. And no doubt about it, there's confidential things being exchanged over video.
Of course.
So this is a secure video.
I mean, we have the oil and gas industry right now that's pretty big, right? These people have confidential data, how much they get out of a well. You got the pharmaceutical industry, biotech industry, and financial has always been known that you have conversations that are confidential. But if you look at some of these big companies, that the one that especially that we all use, they have been fined several times between $80 to $100 million because they sell your data. So our goal is this. Our goal, I mean, we're not going to be able to compete with Microsoft and Zoom and things like that. But we're going to say, listen, if you're a C-level executive, if you're in certain industries, you typically don't have conferences with 500 people. It limits you to 20. And that is the tranche of people that will just pay whatever it costs to get that privacy. The product will cost $50 a month per user. It will include all our services, and $50 a month is really not expensive for a board member, for C-level executives, or other people in the medical industry. And I think even citizens themselves, regular citizens like you and me, individuals, they'll pay for it. So yeah, that's an amazing product, and it'll be the culmination this year of everything we're launching. And then next year we have some other things planned.
Okay. Well, I mean, you and I have talked about how this is a growing industry, and we read about it every day. So it's definitely a solution that people need. So. And
now that people work from home or travel is more restricted, let's say, it's a great tool. And companies are trying to save money too. They can't always send somebody on business class to travel just to say hi. Now they have that habit, well, if it's critical, I'm going to send this executive. If it's not, we're just going to do a conference on video. And that's where the business is going to grow like crazy in the next few years.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alon.
Thank you.
Yep.
We can do better. Existing security systems are often obsolete and ineffective. Today's challenges require a new approach, a personal approach. RAD Light My Way places personal safety in the hands of everyone.
This area is under live monitoring, activated by RAD Light My Way.
The only way we make a safer world is when we all have a hand in it.
Activated by RAD Light My Way.
Just one of the innovations from AITX. Visit AITX.ai.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Want to get linked to a really good investment? Everyone knows you have to be at the right place at the right time. So here's the deal. Linqto is that place. And when you sign up, you'll join an awesome community of investors with access to the world's leading private companies way before they go mainstream. Are you ready to get linked to? Our unicorns are waiting. Linqto. Private investing made simple.
Pawtocol is using blockchain technology to create solutions that will strengthen the pet community and bring value back to its members, all while providing help to rescues and also shelters in need. And with me is the CEO, Colin Jordan. Colin, a pleasure having you back.
Jane, thank you for having me. Yeah.
So we talked, 5 months or so ago, right when you took over as CEO. So give me an update on how things have been going.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all kind of seen the roller coaster that's been going on in the cryptocurrency market, let alone, the traditional stock market. So that's been a little interesting to navigate, but nonetheless, just trying to tell the team to stay focused, building our ecosystem, growing, hiring, right? And I'm actually really excited at how we've kind of persevered through the chop around us and done some really great things in the first few months.
Yeah. Now, you just mentioned your team. So have you hired people? Who else on the team?
Yeah, so when I started, right, it was a very small operation, a lot of part-time contractors, et cetera. So that was one of the first things that was a priority. So we've actually now got a blended team of part-time and full-time. It's 12, right? And we just brought on some integral hires in the last few weeks, actually. So Jason Hetherington joined us from Facebook. He's our Chief Experience Officer. And we hired Andrew Tamburo, who's now leading us creatively, so also community manager. and Marlena Cotter, who's now our coordinator of rescues and shelters.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I think that's new, right?
Yes.
The rescues and shelters, since we talked. What are you doing with that?
Yeah, so, given the fact that some of the products that we're developing, it has a little bit of a longer kind of cycle, we wanted to make an impact right away. So we launched a Pawtocol Pet Fund. And what that is a cryptocurrency-based fund where we donate directly to rescues and shelters through that vehicle, and 100% of the contents go to them. Right, so unlike other organizations where maybe 60 to 70% goes, we're giving everything in that fund to the rescues and shelters.
So how does that work then? The shelters get the cryptocurrency from what? Where does that come from?
Yeah, so right away we put $5,000 into the fund as a company, right? We used UPI, Universal Pet Income, that's our utility token.
Yeah.
And I actually myself matched the donation with $5,000 of my own money, right? And then we will take and everything that we sell moving forward, so between our NFT platform and our pet tags, a portion of every dollar will go into that fund as well. And then Marlena is actually boots on the ground, going out, finding deserving 501c3s to go ahead and redistribute those funds to them directly. And as of today, we actually have partnered with 3 rescues and shelters in Arizona that have each received $1,000. So already making a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you've also got a national partnership. Are we breaking a little news here?
Yes, yes.
What's that all about? Who is
so
it with?
Excited, partially because I'm, big football guy, but we just announced this week that we are going to be one of the first companies in the country to sponsor a college football program via cryptocurrency.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we've been working with Rich Iamuno at AIC, and he's been helping us go out and find partnership opportunities for cryptocurrency. And this was the first one with the University of Central Florida. So we are the official sponsor for their Halloween weekend game against Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
And he's actively going out and trying to help us find other partnerships. It really, for us, the 18 to 35 kind of being our target market.
Sure.
I love
College
working.
is actually a really good target for you.
It's fantastic, and not just to go out and get eyeballs and raise awareness, but then as we continue to grow the team, right? Like these college kids that are just coming out and needing jobs, it's an incredible, as an emerging technology company, there's a lot that want to get involved with us at an early age, and we love that.
Yeah. What kind of things do you have planned for that football game?
So they're actually going to allow us. Our logo is going to be on the coin for the coin toss. We're going to have kind of full branding around the stadium. They'll have QR codes where they can go in and download our app. So it's actually a really, hats off to UCF. They put together an incredible program for us to become a sponsor.
Okay, well, I'm sure in our next interview we can talk about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Colin.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
We can do better. Existing security systems are often obsolete and ineffective. Today's challenges require a new approach, a personal approach. Red Light My Way places personal safety in the hands of everyone.
This area is under live monitoring, activated by Red Light My Way.
The only way we make a safer world is when we all have a hand in it.
Activated by Red Light My Way.
Just one of the innovations from AITX. Visit AITX.ai.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Want to get linked to a really good investment? Everyone knows you have to be at the right place at the right time. So here's the deal. Linqto is that place. And when you sign up, you'll join an awesome community of investors with access to the world's leading private companies way before they go mainstream. Are you ready to get linked to? Our unicorns are waiting. Linqto. Private investing made simple.
All right, welcome everyone to your Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry. Joining us is the CEO of Secure Private Data, Elaine Guy. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you, and happy to be here. Welcome to our viewer.
Well, we've got some good news for our viewer, not talking about a great browser that we all probably have on our phone if we're concerned about data privacy. It's the DuckDuckGo browser. And supposedly they have a new search agreement with Microsoft that's not necessarily in our favor, and it doesn't really keep our data safe like it promises. Tell us what's going on with DuckDuckGo, Elaine.
Yeah, so what's happening is DuckDuckGo is a browser that's been around for the longest time. And the CEO is coming back to defend their position and so forth. So in a nutshell, because it gets complicated, when you do a search in a browser, the search is powered by a search engine, right? So typically it could be Microsoft, it could be Google. If I understood correctly, you can use DuckDuckGo now, and it will block out the third-party tagging, the Google and the other ones maybe, but it won't block Microsoft because they did an exclusive deal or some kind of special deal with Microsoft where they hand over all the tagging and all the data to Microsoft. This article was, if you Google it, I use the term Google, but if you search it, you can say it's, if you do DuckDuckGo on techradar.com in hot water over a hidden tracking agreement. So they track everything that you do. So they won't give it to Google, but they'll give it to Microsoft because they get paid. You know, how do you think these free companies get paid? This is a perfect example. Oh, well, I have a free email, I have a free this, or I have a free that. Well, how do you think they make money? They make money from your data, whether they take your data on an email and sell it, or whether they track every single thing that you do on a browser in this case. There's another browser that is supposed to be good. Again, I haven't had any extensive search with it, called Brave. I heard about it. It's one of these newer ones that a lot of people in the conservative media, they try to push it. DuckDuckGo is kind of like the first one that came out that became big. And just like everybody else, at the end, there's so much data, they're going to sell that stuff to someone. In this case, they're selling it to Microsoft. Maybe another browser will come, and when it's free, you pay for it. I always say that. So it's unfortunate. Definitely, if you want full privacy, I wouldn't use a browser that basically gives all your search and tags you and hands it over to Microsoft, which is LinkedIn and everything else combined that you can imagine. And that means the entire world will have all your searches. You might as well go to Google and search with the Google browser. You know, you don't need the DuckDuck anymore.
Right. And you mentioned this also with Proton Mail, right? Just because they claim it doesn't mean that it factually is safe.
That's it. And it's funny because Proton Mail just launched this new website, and I take screenshots. There's also, you can go on a thing called Time Machine, where you can look at websites in history, or it's called Wayback Machine or something. So Proton is funded by the European Union. So they have these oxymoron where they say, we don't hand out anything, we don't have any government intrusion. And meanwhile, you have the European flag, and it has grants from the European Union. You know, I mean, it's a great company for sure, but don't claim something that is not true. Just like they claim they don't check anything, and then this poor French guy, they found out every single time that he was logging into the Proton Mail, they were logging all the times and all the logs and handed over to the French authorities, just like that. So, you know, it's really simple. If you want something and you want value, you're going to have to pay a few bucks for it. Now, I know companies like Proton do charge, but there's a free version as well. But even sometime when you charge, you have to look at everything. And when you see a big European flag that says, you know, European grants fund this company, you might as well go to China and give everything to Xi Jinping and all these other globalists, because essentially your data is belonging to everybody, to all the globalists that are trying to sell you all of their crooked ideas at the end, which we all know of and we're not going to talk about right now. But that's not how a privacy company should function. So again, DuckDuckGo, big disappointment, obviously. So I'm not saying go to Brave, but Brave is supposed to be good. Now, I should make, I'm sure we'll talk about some of what we're going to do to innovate and to counter some of that too.
Yes, you have the solution for Proton with your secure mail and secure SYN. How are you going to handle the browser issue that we're talking about today with Secure?
Well, the browser issue, it's like the age-old question that I always got. And back then, it was close to impossible for us to do it because it takes astronomical amount of resource. Now, we just shipped over 1 ton of heavy-duty equipment to Switzerland, and some of that equipment is essentially to power our new browser and VPN, which we will launch probably by Q1 of 2023 or sooner. We'll see. We have to juggle. We were going to do the voice and video encryption. We may push that because there's a much bigger audience that needs help in privacy when they go to a website than, let's say, doing video calls. So we address the need for the people for email privacy and chat privacy. We've done that now with chat by invite and so forth. Now we're going to help people with their privacy when they go browsing. And even though we have our own tunneling system to our server, so you don't really need a VPN that much, but we're going to offer a VPN because a lot of people have that habit of, I need to use a VPN. Now, really quickly, VPNs, the way they work, when you have multiple locations, typically Amazon Web Service or one of these companies powers them all, because it's just impossible for a company to have multi-million-dollar equipment in 100 locations. So that's billions and billions of dollars of investment. So it's Amazon. It's no secret. Great company, but it's not going to be that privacy that you think you're getting. So we're going to do a fully dedicated Switzerland-only VPN.
That's great. What a wonderful service you're going to provide. And again, they're all upfront fees. And if you want to break that down quickly for our audience so they can jump on the bandwagon and be ready by Q1 of next year.
Sure. So you go to secure.com. I can give you a promo code SEKUR15, SEKUR15. You get 15% off for a year. You can buy Secure, which is email and messaging combo for $10 a month, Secure Mail for $7 a month, or Secure Messenger for $5. For businesses, it has a little toggle thing. Businesses are slightly more because you can have your own domain hosted with us, and we give you 100 gigabyte of storage when it comes to your email. So, you know, buy one of these. If you buy yearly, you get 2 months for free. It's equivalent to 17%. And then if you add the 15% I just gave you, you're going to get 33% off our services if you buy on a yearly plan. You can also buy as many licenses as you want. We have families that buy for themselves. We have small businesses. You don't need to be like a big business to do that. You can have for you and your family, and you each have your own email in full privacy. So as long as you have a service like that, when we're going to come out with Secure Web and Secure VPN, will be a separate item. If you just want the VPN, you'll pay a nominal fee for it, but really nominal. But the browser with the VPN underlying underneath will be free if you have any secure product.
Wonderful. You're providing great services for all of us, and these topics are extremely relevant. And like we mentioned, they're not going anywhere. They're only going to get worse. So thank you for all that you're doing to keep our data private and secure with Secure. Thank you, Elaine, for joining us.
Thanks, Anna, and thanks everyone for watching us. See you next time.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Changing the world